Hey Scouts and Scout parents, my name's Andrew and I'm the Assistant Cub Master and Popcorn Colonel for Pack 29 in the Black Swamp Area Council. It's that time of year again where we get ready to sell some popcorn to raise money for scouting. This year is shaping up to be a little different, to put it mildly, and with that, there will be some obstacles to overcome. This year's big push is to sell via the Trails End Popcorn app, and I'm here to walk you through that app with some tips and tricks to throw in. So with the introductions out of the way, let's get started. Alright, so starting out, once you open the app, you're going to come to the login screen. If you already have a login from a previous year, you can go ahead and skip ahead in this video, as I'm going to run through the registration process pretty quick. So, to register a new Scout, if you are a Scout or a parent, you'll go ahead and click on the register, and you can see an option for a parent and an option for a Scout. Now, I'm coming from a pack, so most of my Scouts are going to be added on their parent's phone, on their parent's app or tablet. So it'll generally be a parent that's going to sign up because the parent's going to have the email and the cell phone number. So let's go ahead and click on parent. Now, it will also ask you if you're registering one Scout or multiple Scouts. You can register multiple Scouts at one time, which makes it easy. And then once you get into the app, we'll actually show you how to switch between Scouts. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put one Scout. So first of all, we're going to fill out all the parents' information. So first name, last name, email address, confirm it. I believe it's going to make you click this box, enter your phone number, date of birth. Go ahead and click continue. Alright, so after you enter in your information, it's time to enter in your Scout's information. So go ahead and fill out their name. Now, it will ask for last name, but it does not show up in the app. It only shows up as the first initial of their last name, so you don't have to worry about that. You can just click the information the same below for the parent. The email address will populate, the phone numbers will populate, and then all you have to do is enter in the date of birth. So let's go ahead and do that and click continue. Alright, the next screen is where you're going to enter a password for your login. So it'll give you a login based on your username. You can actually change that up if you want it to be different. But mostly it's just going to be first name dot last name. And then go ahead and enter your password, confirm your password, and click continue. Alright, so the last thing we're going to do is enter our council, district, and unit, which that will direct you to your unit-specific popcorn kernel in the dashboard app for the leader, and he can assign you into the roster. So, if you don't know your council or district, the best thing to do is either you can check your you can check with your popcorn kernel, or your Cub Master, Assistant Cub Master, Den leaders. If you know your council but don't know your district, another good thing to do is you can go to your council's webpage, and it should list what district your unit falls within a geological area. So, once you enter that information, hit continue, and you're going to be registered and ready to go. One thing to note, please keep your username and password wrote down or stored somewhere in a safe place so you don't lose it, since we're only using this once a year. It's very easy to forget those, and then every year you have to go back and click forgot password, and it becomes a big ordeal. So with that, registration is complete, and we'll move on to signing into the app. Alright, so the first thing that we see when we sign into the app is a dashboard. The dashboard is going to give you an overview of what you have going on, how many points you've earned so far, how many sales, what kind of sales, what you have in payments, what you should have in cash, what you have in app credit. You can share your page via email, text. You can copy the link and paste it somewhere, and you can add it to your social media. So, easy ways to share your page. Now, when we talked about signing in with multiple Scouts, we have this option to drop down with the Scout's name. And then we have other sign-in options. Now, once you've signed in with multiple Scouts, the other Scouts will stay in this pop-up. So all you have to do is transfer from one Scout to the next to the next. So if you're at somewhere, grandma's house or whatever, and they want to buy popcorn from both Scouts, and you have multiple kids, all you do is do one sale via one kid's app, one sale via the next kid's app, such on and so forth. You get the idea. But that makes it easier for transferring between Scouts. Now, the next section down, we have our points. One thing about the points this year is we have this online direct option. Now, online direct is going to be a web portal basically through this app where you're basically selling via the web page. So what that states is that you're going to sell in person, but the popcorn and your products are going to be shipped directly to that person's house. So getting their information is very pertinent with online direct. With that being said, online direct sales are credit card only, and they will earn you 2 points per dollar spent. Now, wagon sales are a little bit differently. Wagon sales are what we're used to, where we deliver the popcorn or you have the popcorn up front to sell at that time. Now, with that, any credit card sale with a wagon purchase is going to be 1.5 points, and every dollar spent in cash is going to be 1 point. So things to keep in mind with meeting your goal. Some other things to add here is to share your page. With this, you can share your page and you actually have your own, your Scout has their own personal web page that anyone who goes and visits that site, enters in your information, anyone who clicks through that link, I should say, will purchase popcorn directly from you. So all purchases made via that link are credited towards that Scout. Okay, and we'll get to that page a little bit later when we go to manage the page. Another thing is storefront shifts. Now this year I know there's quite a few places that aren't doing storefront shifts, but if your unit is doing a storefront shift, your Scout will see the shifts here and will be able to sign up for them. Actually, I believe you have to go to the storefront, but you'll be able to see the shifts right here that you are actually signed up for. So, moving on, let's go to the online direct, and we'll see what that's all about. All right, so online direct, this is the direct to customer. The Scout does not handle the popcorn whatsoever. It's shipped directly to the customer. As soon as the order comes in, its process should take 3 or 4 weeks, I believe, and they should have their popcorn. Unless it's chocolate, which we wait till October so that in the hot areas it doesn't melt while it's in transit. But I digress. So starting a sale here, you'll click on Start Sale. You're going to see that there's a lot more options here than there are on wagon sales, and that's because anything that Trails End has to offer, they allow the customer to purchase here, where most units only get a couple items to do. Now, one thing to note, it's a little tricky, but let's say we're going to buy some white cheddar cheese popcorn and some unbelievable butter popcorn. Now let's say we actually fat fingered the unbelievable butter popcorn and we need to get rid of this. So we're just going to swipe to the left. So you have to swipe it to get rid of it. So it's just like a notification bar on your phone. So we put the wrong thing on, swipe left, deleted. Okay. Another note to option is to donate to American Heroes. So these donations go to military, police, first responders, etc., etc. Some proceeds do go to Scouts. I do not actually have the number offhand, but that's also a very good thing to promote, as I believe there's extra awards for donations or extra credits to the unit for specific donation amounts. Right, so let's go ahead and hit checkout. This one, like I said, you have to enter this information. One thing to note, for the rural folk like me, my address actually will not show up in this, as it takes me halfway across the county. So one thing to do that I cannot show you here, one way I had to get around this was to actually enter my address into a text message input box, and then I highlighted the whole thing and then I pasted it in here, and that worked. So that's one way around it. That's actually the only way I've found around it. I've actually submitted a ticket myself to Trails End to fix this, but that might take a couple months and the sale might be over with already, so it's nice to have a little tip and trick to get around that little feature. So other than that, once you go to checkout, it's going to actually take you to Square Reader or Cash, or actually this one is going to take you to a Square Reader or credit card sale, which you can manually input. I'll go over that a little bit later when I talk about wagon sales, as there's the cash and the credit billing, so we'll go over that a little bit later. So I'll go ahead and cancel this. Okay, so yeah, I want to exit. Alright, the next part about Online Direct is you can actually put a page up, or actually Trails End puts a page up for you automatically that you can share. Now when you share this, you can go ahead and manage your page. So you can put in About Me, you can put different things in it. You can select what your favorite product is. And sometimes this app is a little slow, so just bear with me here. Alright, so here we got some photos and videos of my Scout. We have profile picture. We have more links to more ways to share the page. So let's go ahead and preview that page. Maybe. There we go. Alright, so this is what the actual online page looks like for your Scout. As you can see, you're now supporting My Scout from 3029. And here are all the different options. Now there's actually some extra options here. But again, this one gives you everything that you can possibly get from Trails End. And they would just, anyone who wants to support will actually add to cart and check out just like any other online shopping. Alright, so let's go ahead and back out of here. Let's back out of here. A little bit farther below, it actually shows like who has ordered from you, so you'll know exactly who ordered from you online. You'll know who ordered from Online Direct. You can actually check your orders, manage your page. There's multiple ways to do about the same thing in this app. So let's move on to wagon sales. Now wagon sales, these are the sales where either you have an inventory, you take it around, if you have it on hand, you deliver it to the customer that day and they have their product, or it's kind of like the sheets that they used to hand out where you put your name down, you can either collect the payment via credit card then or cash, or you can hold off and not get the cash yet, but you have to make sure you know who paid you cash and who didn't. And I don't believe there's a place in here to check that out. I usually have went to making sure that it's paid up front before the sales are put in. Or you can just say if they're undelivered, they don't have to pay until you come deliver it. That way you know that, hey, this person didn't or that did. However you want to do it. Just some tips, in my opinion, personally. Okay. So it is a little crazy because if you scroll all the way down, the start sale actually goes away. As you can see it grayed out. That's another little thing that's messed up with the app. I've put in a ticket for that as well. But a little funky, but let's go ahead and start a sale. So now you can see that this list is a lot shorter because these are the actual items that they will be sending to my specific unit. So if we go ahead and say, hey, we're going to get a popcorn or a cheese lovers box. Hey, we got a cheese lovers box, bag of salted popcorn. I don't think I want to do this. This might be too, whatever. Let's go ahead and take that off there. And let's get this Ohio State tin. So, okay, so we'll go ahead and check out. Once you hit cash, that's going to complete this order. And we'll do that, and I'll show you to back out of that and get a refund for it too. But one thing too, now, if you do not go into your settings and change your delivery option, it's always going to say it's delivered. So I'll show you here in a little bit how to change that setting. But that's a big deal because like last year when I first started out this app, it said that everything was delivered, because it didn't really show that it was delivered or undelivered until you got to the order details. So this year they've changed it up a little bit. They've given you, hey, it's delivered, undelivered. Hey, this one's delivered. I had it on hand. This one's not, etc., etc. But anyways, if they're undelivered, it's going to ask you for customer information. So it works the same way. You're going to put all this information in. The address is the exact same thing. Has the exact same issue. So a little bit of pain, but there is that. So let's go ahead and we'll say they're delivered, just so we don't have to enter in any customer information. Okay, so we're going to go into credit. Here's where you can either connect a reader, which is a square reader. Has to be a square reader. I found that out because all the payments go through the square market. So it's either a square reader or manual entry. Either way, with a square reader, there is no charge for anything. So usually there's an extra percentage that's added on for running a card. With Trails, then there's a partnership, so they will not be charged that processing fee using this app unless you do a manual card entry. So another reason to kind of spend that $5 and get well, it's $5 to $10 to get the Square Reader app. Anyways, once I plug that into my phone, it actually sees it. Hey, now I can just swipe that card and it's ready to go. If not, if you don't have that card reader, you can always go ahead, enter it manually, and then it'll charge you just the same. Okay, so let's back out of that. I'm going to go and I'm going to say, hey, it's cash. You want to email or send a text? It's like, nope, no receipt needed. Okay, sale complete. Now, let's say you messed something up. It's good to always put a name in there. I will say that just so you know who's what. Even if it's delivered, it's nice to say, hey, this is who bought this. It'd be a good roster for the next year to say, hey, I should go back to them. They spent $55. So we didn't do that. But here's where you actually assign a refund. So you have your last orders, or you go to the orders here and you click on this little caret right here and it takes you to this page, what it is. And since there's nothing there, it's going to sit here and take some time to populate. It's not the fastest app in the world. But let's say, oh, we messed that up. They actually didn't want this, or they're coming through hard times and they can't do it. Now, if you've already given them popcorn, it'd be a little bit harder to get a refund for them. But if they haven't got their popcorn yet and it's undelivered, then we can go ahead and refund that order. And also, if you do deliver it, you can actually go into these orders specifically, like by order, and click on, hey, these guys were delivered. So we're going to say these aren't delivered, and we're going to go ahead and refund the order. And yep, I want to do that refund right now. And that should take it away. Now when we go back, this guy, I think when it repopulates, so it should stay there. Now, there it goes. So now it repopulated. So speaking of that delivered, undelivered thing, we're going to go in here to settings, and we're going to go to app settings. And right here is where we have our default delivery. I would highly suggest everyone go in and change this default to undelivered. So otherwise it's going to say everything's delivered and you have to click undelivered for everything. I know that there's not much product out there this year that's going to the units for show and sells or anything like that. So a lot of it won't be delivered. So more than likely you're going to be better off by saying, hey, it's undelivered, then delivered. Anyways, getting back to it, we have our storefront sales. Storefront sales actually populate here. So once your kernel assigns dates for storefronts, they should show up. It'll actually highlight dates. You go ahead and click on them. It'll say you what shifts are available, what times, where, whatever is exactly part of that. And then you can actually click on whatever shift you want. A lot of units do that a lot differently, so I would leave that up to your popcorn kernel. If you have any more questions about storefronts, please see your Cub Masters and your popcorn kernels and get the answers from them. Okay. So, for the most part, that's about it for the app. Like I said, if there's any other questions, definitely ask your den leaders or your cub masters or scout leaders. You know, any more questions that you have, they should be able to get the answers for you. Some of them might not have the answers right offhand, but I'm sure they can get them for you. So, with that, that's a brief run through of the Trails End app. I hope there's something you gain from this. If not, have a great day. Thank you.